And he didn't want to shoot. He didn't want to go for Corexi, give away his position. But as you said, Summer already knows. And so Fex now looking for where Uba could be.
Slow, steady goes for the spray and hits the box instead. That box paying up big ways. Uba just kind of bouncing between different positions, narrowly surviving. But we do have the blue zone that's going to be moving in, making it much more complicated. As the longer that this stays an edge fight, it's just no good for any one of these three teams.
No, not at all. FaZe trying to move up as well. Like, they have to deal with 4 a.m. But really the problem is Petrichor. They have that northern position. They have the hill, and they can just rain down. I'm not sure if they necessarily have the greatest cover there from potentially Tai Lu, but we'll see. They do have vehicles to use there as HSM is trying to get a knock on to Fex and just get rid of one of the last members of FaZe.
We were talking about how much it sucks to fight around Azuhar. Here's your example. It's a 2v2v1, and it is seriously next door neighbors just getting explosive with each other. Uba's going to try to make the move out. Looks like Lou has already got the read onto it. If the pre-fire doesn't come out, it's just going to be a send down from Petrichor Road. Lost one of their members. That's going to be TL, still trying to defend up. Nade's going to go too far. At least 2 of the members managed to make landfall, but now FaZe distracted by this. Everything's just getting more and more clustered. Uba, 4 angry men, the outlier on this one, trying to survive. Mill's gonna go down. Petrichor Road is out.
And Tai Lu, they have Shen knocked. 4 a.m. on the west side of this, just trying to fight something. Fex, so much damage.
Tai Lu unrelenting over here. Everybody's just caught up in this firefight. 4 angry men still picking up more kills as they fight their way in this one. Finally touching the safe zone. FaZe down below them, and we are dealing with 3 members up for TL, kind of, with really just trying to commit into the res. Potential of the 2 members for FaZe and 2 members for 4 angry men, and it is just a triangle of destruction waiting to happen.
FaZe has recovered here a little bit, though. This cross is what I was talking about earlier. It is very difficult. Fortunately, it is Tai Lu trying to recover, but it's going to be HS on the other side of this, just trying to deny that cross or trying to deny any cover. Gustav now trying to look for an opportunity as well.
TL kind of gets to referee this at the time as they've got more control over where that center dot is going to be. It's going to be at their back, so everybody's got to come to them. That's why Gustav is making this really sneaky play. He's separated out, left X back behind. He's trying to creep into 755X. Know this. Stepping in. Utility was out. The flash going to come out. Go pick up. Gustav just spins it back around, trying to go for at least a flush onto this. He is now revealed. While this is happening, Fex trying to hold back 4 angry men. Is going to take down Jowlo. 4 angry men out, but FaZe in a world of trouble. Just 1 up. Looking into 2 members of TL as TL trying to get a read on exactly what's happening.
This is a 1v2 though. Gustav can win this, especially if they give him the opportunity. He goes for the flush, so he'll get that point at least. And he's actually going to cross. I don't think they saw that.
Oh, that was so sneaky, making the jaunt across into this one. TL keeps their eyes back down into the south. They should now finally be realizing how the setup's coming into play. Gustav looking at, gets a lot of damage over, but has to dodge out the nade. Creeping up this hillside. It looks like now he's starting to get more and more control over the center dot position, but he's got to be careful. Takes a lot of damage. He goes out, and Tai Lu. The longer that T5 can manage to stay up and move in aggressively into 17, this is actually far, far better for Na'Vi by the moment because they can exploit more and more of this movement. And if a big firefight happens, it's just Jaibe that's back behind this one. That's just trying to make sure that nothing can happen with Na'Vi. If he goes down, they've got a go moment, and they're already inside of cars. It looks like they're sending it in. They're realizing this is their opportunity. Only 1 member. They're just going to cut it up the hillside. He switches over, trying to see if he can get the spray out. Instead, no. Nade, try to cook it, see if he can get the God toss into it. How far is it going to go down? Going to bounce, going to connect for some damage, but Na'Vi, perfect timing on that.
Absolutely incredible timing. You are not wrong, Matt, as they now have the south side of this and the most cover, but 17 has shifted completely now to go fight towards Na'Vi.
T5 says, thank you, Na'Vi. We appreciate that so much. Now we've got some breathing room, and 17 is dealing with a plethora of targets and having to make sure that they're focusing on the most threatening one. The issue is, everybody is so close at this stage, they're just having to fight for the scraps while 17 is making sure they're trying to fend up. New circle shifts, and Na'Vi with the only member in it.
Right, and they have actually left Uba behind to try to anchor as much as possible, but the whole team of Theraton has realized that, and if they can get rid of Uba, they can actually start to kind of make a push here on the north side of the hill, which is on that slope to fight Na'Vi. But this is such an awkward circle to fight in because essentially whoever fights first is going to be at a huge disadvantage.
How many times do you think that sentence has been said by players? If we could only get rid of Uba, as it's going to be 17 making their push. See if they can get something. That bust, you mentioned a second, they're trying to hold it together, but it's still not going to be quite enough. 17 doing a good job of just kind of picking apart headshot, just going to continue to find opportunity.
This is not good. This is not good at all for Theraton 5, stuck behind 2 vehicles. The knock again from Xiao Bei. But look at Na'Vi. They hear this fighting. 17 at the very least have done an amazing job of keeping their heads on a swivel and trying to hold back Na'Vi.
They just have to focus in and realize, okay, it's time to take 2 different fights. Have to be careful with Example going to step in, go for the sprays, but 17 holding it together. Theraton 5 is going to go down inside of it. Now up to 6 kills. They get to focus back in, but remember, Uba, one flank wasn't good enough. He's now shifted in all the way around to the north. He's coming in on the backside of 17 Gaming, and he can absolutely demolish them.
And that very unfortunate whiff there coming out from Example cost them. And HSMM is just still prone, looking for any opportunity. He's just trying to get points at this point, and he's gonna find one, but Longs will find him and get rid of him here. 7 kills on the side of Tai Lu, just making it work.
Tai Lu in first place right now, sitting at 28 points, wanting to get even bigger lead on everybody that's going to be back behind and go for the spray across, and there we go. The Expendables finally down. Guess what? That means the Global Army kind of has a pathing point, but he has at least been spotted.
The fact that they're still alive.
I mean, respect. Oh, he hit Longs and knocked him on top of that. Now Tai Lu has to come up and reinforce. Na'Vi and Mel know where he is, but they don't have the cleanest sightline into it. Global Army is somehow making this game work for him.
That man is a hero.
He is.
That man is an absolute hero. Obviously not dealing with the smokes. That nade landing very close. He will be able to somewhat get away for now. He knows that he has a knock on Tai Lu, but that timing and that window has closed, and now it's just going to be down to a 2v2 between Na'Vi and Tai Lu, and they are equal distance from that center.
Global Army, I feel, has been playing that entire game with the ringing in his heroes. It has just been nade upon nade. Now down into the 2v2, and oddly enough, they're pretty equal distance. I would say that Tai Lu has a little bit closer of a position to the circle, the center spot. Na'Vi has, I guess, a more controlled angle that they can play from, though. So the wreckage of vehicles being key factor, but also, yeah, no smokes.
No smokes really on the side of Na'Vi. I imagine both of these teams are somewhat out of utility, as Example's going to eat a headshot. He was trying to bait there. Potentially trying to cover. Oh, Mel, he's going to go down. Example now, down to a solo. Blue at his back. Tai Lu, are they going to win their second game here? No helmet as well.
Just trying to cling to life right now. That small difference in the blue zone is going to be big, but he uses this opportunity to reposition down. Example gets the knock. 1v1, clinging to life right now. Tai Lu trying to use this rock. Gonna go for the nade. Throw it out. You can see opposing side of this just trying to feed information. It is going to be Example trying to creep forward, use whatever is being provided by Mel. Finally, he's going to go down. Creeping out. Example shifts to the south, trying to use that tree to block the sight line, creeping
those
forward.
Bushes, though.
He knows blue zone now going to be back behind Tai Lu, and with this tree, that means Example actually has the close spot into the circle, goes for the spray, does get the knock on a 1. Example sitting on more life. This molly could be massive to get control over what's going to be happening. Peek, back and forth, between opposite side, shot's going to come out, and it's going to be Tai Lu. Play it slower, play it the way they want, play it clean, but now the circle is starting to force it. Now they're having to make some more aggressive steps in, and the doorway defense is solid. Hell, with 1 HP survives.
And pushing up these pryos is always just such a pain. Getting through that stairwell, even just getting through that front door, as we saw, can be a massive hurdle. Jeeb's gonna find that knock, though. Maybe he's gonna be able to do something, clean this up, and res both of those members, but I'm not sure if it's going to be possible.
Yeah, at this point, I'm willing to bet he wishes he had that hard hat, because he doesn't even have a helmet to function with. A bullet is going to be able to take him down, but hey, guess what? Remember, Na'Vi is still alive and holding down this position. Well, T5 now realizing where they're going to be at, comes at a cost of one of the members, but that Trench doing a good job. Yeah, dude, I don't even count it out anymore. Whatever they can make. FaZe does manage to at least get 1 knockback in this GP fight, so slow and steady wins the race over there, as Cerberus has had to shift back and forth around with what T5 is doing.
And this is an awkward circle to play. This is basically a King of the Hill situation, with that King of the Hill looking to be Cerberus, and they're still fighting.
They have no ammo. Look at this, running around with the Tommy gun, getting the pop-offs.
Tommy gun up close is still kind of a beast. Don't count it out. Pop and Pong is going to go down. And again, Cerberus holding the north side somehow.
And you know who's still alive? Batulins hiding over there, just waiting to see what's going to go on. FaZe Clan finally going to get taken out. We are now into circle number 9. Everything's going to be shifting into the middle as GP has spot out with Batulins is going to be hiding at. Na'Vi is playing on to the east, GP to the south, Cerberus to the north with a friend in Batulins who's not even capable of moving, let's be honest.
Now, Hush,
step out.
I think Hush is the only one that actually sees him.
Oh my God, the crossfire coming out from that was pretty nasty pretty quickly. Twisted Minds is going to get eliminated, so that puts us in a 2v1v2 style situation unless some of these reses can come out. But let's be honest, hell is going down. I wouldn't be surprised if Cerberus Tycon tries to make the shift over, leaving Duckmai to try to fend up against Na'Vi.
And Na'Vi knows exactly what's going on now. Is 10 kills on the side of Cerberus. They are starting to move up that hill and potentially trying to crest. They just want to get rid of GP, but Hush is going to find Example. That's going to be a big thorn in Na'Vi's side.
Cerberus just rocking out right now. Those 10 kills are earned. Tycon realized the fact that he doesn't want to commit too much into what's going on with him, Moss. Looking down there, it looks like they might try to go for something with Blue Zone coming in. I think that this is just going to be an exchange of utility, something else along those lines, try to get some smokes out. Got Na'Vi, one member up, but let's not forget about Hush.
This is a 1v1v1 right now.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay, 1v1.
You can worry. You don't have to worry about Hush anymore. So we've got Cerberus to the north. Na'Vi, who's been having a fight inside the trenches. Duckmai is down, so it's Tycon versus Ayla. Now moving in, but remember, Tycon knows exactly where the line of defenses come out for Na'Vi. Trying to see if he can get a read. Using his down teammate in Duckmai.
Nice flash.
Nice! Position for it. Steps up. Good spin back around, though. Trying to use the cleft of the hill. Bouncing in between it. Oh, that flash is going to be big. Denies a lot of vision. Utility just being dropped all over Na'Vi. No vision to be at. That's why he stepped back. Settled on the battlefield right now. And if anything, that just amps up the anxiety. You don't have good vision on what's going on because the hillside, every bullet is the way you can place what's going on around you, and that's about it. And with nobody really taking shots, you just kind of have to assume you have an idea on how they're moving based off of how you know the map functions.
And as a player, this is very nerve-wracking, right? Because you're looking for that angle. You want to make sure that you can maybe watch all the angles that your team isn't, especially if you're an anchor like 777. But again, the waiting game was always my least favorite. I would much rather be in the thick of a firefight rather than waiting for the circle to close, waiting for another team to make a mistake.
The longer it stays quiet like this, it's just going to continue to mount, add more pressure. Every tree just becomes that's going to have a person behind it. Every dip in the hill, you're having to double check, triple check, because places you checked before, somebody could have snuck into that position already. You can see TE now starting to be a bit more mobile. Mill did move out of his position, wanting to play still into that southeastern corridor. That the one section of the hill that they have control over is now TE starting to make much more of a defensive line in the south, as Petrichor Road is also making that commitment in the south. And so now it's not TE that's being the potential of pinched, it's Kia.
Look, yeah. And again, it's just the passiveness of D plus Kia it's a little baffling to me.
I mean, and this one, I don't know what else you could potentially do, but it's the quiet just settled in. And TE, with that shift on both of those teams, with Petrichor Road and D plus Kia, now they've got so much control over the circle, and you can see everybody's just sloping. Look at the way you can see somebody step forward and then step back, afraid of where a headshot's going to come. Jump in, see if you spot out anything. Every little bit of information that you get also means that you're probably also going to reveal something and potentially kill yourself.
Yeah, and as you said, they've pretty much not stopped at all TE from just getting closer and closer and closer because they're just afraid to peek over that ridge.
Here we go. Blues coming in. No more time to be passive. You've got to make something happen. Throwables coming out, and it's going to be DK looking up this hillside. Summer, the rest of the crew now starting to look in. Nate is going to get some damage, but not enough to determine what's going to happen next. DK with that little bit of damage, though, now starting to eye back into the Expendables line. Expendables still holding them right there. So much of what we're going to be looking at is going to be hinging on what's happening with Duck Juice and his defensive line against Petrichor Road. Tanvu, Dylan also moving. Get vision, get the knock into one of them, but now with that, they should be aware of the flank and how it's going to be happening. Petrichor Road should be using this opportunity to start to creep up the opposite hillside, and that's what they're going to be doing. Duck Juice has got to defend that to the best of his capabilities. Tanvu, the rest of the team, they need to clean this up as fast as possible. Just Americano, the last one up, they know it. They get the spray, it's completed, but now it's Petrichor Road running down, but Duck Juice hits the shot onto Summer. That's going to open up the door. The duo over here for the Expendables trying to make it happen. At 11 kills, they want even more. Xflip's going to go down, and it is just Bill looks back down into this one, and there you go.
Saki behind him is like, oh, shoot.
That was an instant like, my bad,
and that nade was beautiful. It landed in his mouth.
Now we talk about the fact of how good Cerberus is doing right now. Let's keep in mind, this is Uba and Exam. This is not a duo to take lightly. They will, if
not
you
at all.
make one small mistake, they will ruin your day. As you can see, Hamas learning from that one is going to step away.
Tycon desperately trying to find the other members. He knows that there's another team in Falcons out there as Duckmai taking shots over towards Na'Vi. They still have a little bit of this weird ridge to play against Na'Vi, but Himas is going to go down.
DraftKings has managed to get kind of sneaky over here, creep into this angle. Tycons knows that he's kind of around here. That's why he's playing the opposite side of the vehicle. But the more and more that Na'Vi can just be distracting means that Falcons can kind of move into some really cool flanks.
When you are one of the players, though, that isn't prone on your belly, like finding players in these fields can be really frustrating. I definitely wasn't the biggest fan of these field endings, but this one isn't as egregious as some of the other ones we could have seen.
Yeah, start dropping off backpacks and creeping around, making hissing sounds is something that could be happening here, but I like this. Instead, let's start bringing out, like the portable shields. Let's drop those so that way we can get more defended line. Make sure the fact that we only have to deal with Na'Vi right now.
Yeah, look at this push. It is going to be spotted out by Tycon. Actually, no, it's Uba, and a knock coming out from Haisaki.
Big play to turn that one up. Tycon got himself a good sniper in hands as this game is just creeping closer and closer. We're in phase number 8. We still got one more circle to go, but let's be honest, this circle already belongs to Cerberus, and it feels like the next one probably is going to as well.
I was going to say, look at DraftKings, though. He's gotten this really wide flank, and he's going to find Duckmai as he's taking shots as well as Haisaki.
And oddly enough, now with Cerberus having had moved forward to deal with what's going to be going on, Silzen tried to come down from the north. He wanted to go for a pinch, but he's going to go down. Now it is all just DraftKings. They know exactly where he is as well. His back's up against that blue zone right along the edge. Cerberus now has control of the center, and Tycon is just waiting for him to peek. And oh man. What are you going to do? The aggression now coming out. 15 kills. Get ready, it's about to be 16, but I don't know. A P90 can't turn around.
Yeah, I would absolutely, especially with these smokes, I would not sleep on the ability of DraftKings here. But never mind, Tycon finds it, and Cerberus with 16 kills.